Oh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. It is the 9th day of August, 2020, and the Gateway Pundit. Don't really care anymore. I'm tired of hearing the lies. I'm tired of hearing the liars out there. Really need to be called out. I don't care if they're older than you, if they're lying, if they're spreading false narratives, then you need to call them out on it. And if you don't, you are a coward. And for the people who know me, you know who you are. You folks probably won't listen to my videos after this because you'll know I'm calling you out. You claim you're hardcore, you stand up for what this country is, and you don't, because you'll allow people that are close to you, neighbors and whatnot, just spread lies and false narratives, and you won't stand against it. And that is your duty as an American, to stand against that. Truth, justice, in the American way. And if you want justice, then we got to have truth in order to keep the American way. Anyway, so Trump had a press conference in New Jersey. I think he really shook some people up. Not only that, but his cryptic message from Cleveland, or in Ohio, I should say, where he was in front of 17 washing machines, speaking about middlemen and middle women that are getting rich from pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, that's not good. These people are powerful. They really are. And, we really got to keep the administration, the entire administration, in prayer, I'll be honest. So this one here, rumors swirling. President Trump's recent actions indicate something huge is about to drop. Yeah, anybody who's got a functioning brain should be able to see this. It says here, on Friday, we reported that President Trump spoke to workers at Whirlpool in Clyde, Ohio, to tout his efforts to restore America's manufacturing base. During the speech, Trump also spoke about his work to reform prescription drug pricing by the pharmaceutical industry. He did, and he said something very cryptic in there. He said, "So I have a lot of enemies out there right now. This might be the last time you see me for a while. A lot of very, very rich enemies. They're not happy with what I'm doing." That's right, because you're standing up for the American people. The American people have been getting screwed and dicked over for the past 75 years, easily. And to the generation before me, the 50, 60, 70-year-olds, and you 80-year-olds that are completely clueless on what's going on, you raised some smart kids and some dumb kids. I know a bunch of dumb ones, and I know a bunch of smart ones. And your best bet is to get behind those smart kids, because those dumb kids are going to lead you right off the cliff. Those kids that would rather do drugs and, believe in nonsense is that's going to be their downfall. There's a host on CNN, apparently. Finally, an honest CNN reporter! Exclamation point. CNN hack Brianna Keeler tells viewers you can't just ignore BS. You've got to shovel it. I'm sure she's getting tired of it. And then there's this one here is from this morning. Maria Bartiromo A surprise guest connected to anti-Trump spy Stefan Halper with smoking gun on Spygate. The smoking gun is listen, if what we all know happened comes to light, a lot of people in Washington are going to be in trouble. Sadder news from the tri-state area on the East Coast here. The beer cold releasing of rapists and pedophiles are actually putting these normal cities and normal communities at risk. They're actually housing several registered, convicted pedophiles within a mile of a school. And by the way, I think I know why they want to reopen schools now. Think Parkland. Think Sandy Hook. Sorry. And for you folks in Sandy Hook who got your houses paid off 15 days before the incident at a closed school, you are just as guilty as every other traitor in this country. And you deserve whatever comes down the pike for you. And then here we go. This is, I don't know where, but I will, here it is. Antifa shows up to pro-police rally in Fort Collins. Huge mistake. This did not end well for domestic terrorists. You should really watch where you're walking to, folks. You want to go into places and push people around. Okay. Fort Collins people beat the crap out of you. And that's what you needed. Unfortunately, the parents of these Antifa members are failures. They're failures. They're failures as parents. They were failures as sons. They were failures as daughters. They're just failures in life. I mean, when we find out that 66% of the arrests at these riots, because that's what they are, 66% of the Antifa members that were arrested are public school teachers. What does that tell you about your school system? And then you'll hear these stupid people say, oh, the school system's fine. You are retarded. And the fact that you think we should be allowing pro-commie, pro-anarchist, pro-Marxist teachings in our schools tells me that maybe you need to be hung by your Buster Browns and beaten around the face until you either realize that you're a moron or until you're brain dead. That's what I think anyway. And then this guy here, a violent Antifa leader, Jason Charter, whines at press conference after his federal arrest for attempted toppling of Andrew Jackson statue. You don't have the right to whine, dude. You are destroying federally funded property that I pay for. And this guy does not look like I would trust him around any of my kids if I had any. I wouldn't trust him around a dog. I wouldn't trust him around a cat. This guy, he's got soulless eyes. This is what happens when you're born out of wedlock, folks. You have no soul. And then this is from this morning, 8:04. This is disturbing. Killer Cuomo helps set up the testing centers in Florida, Texas, and Georgia. Yeah. Why would we let a man who signed an executive order to put sick people back into nursing homes where they would surely die? Why would we trust him with testings? Are you kidding me? Have you folks lost your fucking minds? Are you retarded? You must be retarded. You've lost your mind. There is no critical thinking skills anymore in this country. It's all the chemicals in the food and water. Your discernment lobes have been severed. I don't even think you should be allowed to walk down the side of the road without having an adult supervision at this point. And then, crazy Bernie over here. Socialist Bernie Sanders proposes a 60% wealth tax on billionaires to fund health care for 1 year. Hey, Bernie, do us a favor. Have a massive stroke. You are garbage. And then this was breaking this morning, 2:07 a.m. The mostly peaceful rioters break into a Portland police union for the third time and light it on fire again. Again. If the federal government, if anybody in Congress or Senate orders money to these cities, you will have an uprising in this country that you will not be able to quell. We will literally steamroll these cities. We will drag your mayors and your police commissioners and all the people who are forcing this on us out of their buildings, and we will beat them like dogs. Sorry. Not gonna be honest about it anymore. That's what needs to happen. And then Portland update, elderly woman speaks out after being attacked by Antifa defending a police precinct. She got paint thrown in her face. Elderly woman. She's got more balls than some of the people I know in Wayne Township, New Jersey. And then our fraud Fauci here, he warns vaccines may only help control the beer pandemic. And by the way, you can't spell pandemic without DEM. Just remember that. And then a Democrat New York City councilman, Paul Vallone, credits HCQ for saving his life. Gee, go figure. And then exclusive, Killer Cuomo not only murdered thousands of elderly in homes, he also targeted adult care facilities and group homes, people with disabilities. Wow, that doesn't sound like Nazi Germany at all. My goodness, isn't that exactly what a certain guy did in the 1930s? Oh, that's right. But he's the progressive. And then apparently there was a boat rally with 500 boats. A Philly Trump rally. Philly Trump boat rally. It's a massive, at least 500 boats. Awesome. Good to hear. And then this one here, the biggest idiots Democrats ever nominated. His pick is narrowed to 5 women, including that rotten bitch, evil, satanic pedophile, murdering cunt, Whitmer. I hope her kids hear this. I really do, because she is truly the devil, and you'll find that out when if she ever gets on a stage with Pence to debate. Oh God, it's gonna be hysterical. It's gonna be hysterical. It'll be really awesome to see her twitch and just like Strzok did when he was being questioned. You could see the evil. And then $20,000 reward is offered for information on the suspect in Milwaukee. Conservative on suspect in Milwaukee, conservative Burnell Tremmel's murder. Yeah. If this doesn't show you that we need to do something about black on black crime, or at least wake some people up, then I don't know what does. This man just standing there using his freedom of speech, and this man took away his life. And then the headline is Free Venezuela, Socialist Venezuelan government sentences 2 U.S. veterans as spies to 20 years in prison. They're not going to make it out of there. And then I did see the press conference, and it was great. The crowd cheered as Trump shuts down a liberal hack reporter, which was awesome. And then he tells the American people, I don't believe they love their country. Trump rips Democrats for sabotaging stimulus talks, goes around them. Yeah, he signed 4 executive orders. One puts a moratorium on evictions again. He extends the unemployment till the end of the year for $400. And I guess there's going to be another stimulus check coming, but I'm not sure when. And then New York City is illegally housing pedophiles a block from elementary school playground. Yeah, this is I had called a radio show this morning in New York. The former mayor Rudy Giuliani has a radio show on 770 ABC, and you know, they were talking about this exact story. The city of New York releasing pedophiles and whatnot. And I told him and his co-host, I said, you know, there's an old saying, but it still rings true today, and I'm sure Mr. Giuliani knows it, former mayor. Birds of a feather, they flock together. The only reason you would be pro-pedophile or you would be pro-criminal is if you are a criminal. And look at de Blasio. I mean, look at this guy. He's a moron, a complete burnout, has no idea where he is, what he's doing. He used his wife, because she's black, he used his wife to get around all the nonsense. If I used a black person, or if the person I was dating was a black person and I used them to push my socialist agenda forward, I'd be called a racist. But he's got 2 mixed breed children, one of which is completely insane. His daughter is nuts. She needs to be put in a home. She's not fit for society, that's for sure. And I don't know about his son, but I worry for his son's safety every day, knowing that when you look in de Blasio's eyes, you can see that he is definitely part of some sort of satanic pedophilia cult. And I wonder how many times, just like I wonder about the governor of New Jersey, how many times they did horrible things to their own kids. And that would explain why de Blasio's daughter is as crazy as she is. You know, that you would get this kind of acting out if the child was abused in some way. This is all speculation, of course, but I'm beginning to think that that's why they're doing this. And then the Satanic Temple, abortion is satanic ritual and should be protected under religious freedom laws. No, if you are a satanic pedophile, you need to be put to death. And I'm sorry, anybody out there who's had an abortion just because, you're evil. And I hope you get what you deserve. And by the way, studies have proven repeat abortions increase your risk of uterine cancer and ovarian cancer. So, and quite frankly, if you get those things, I don't think we should treat you. You chose to get that disease because you chose to kill a life. End of story. And then here we go. This is your Maryland, you know. This is in Maryland. Repeat criminal released from jail due to the beer cold concerns. Murders Maryland man. Victim's 16-year-old daughter witnessed the attack. Isn't that nice? That's awesome. Good moving, Maryland. I love it. Now I know why you're a shithole. Why Baltimore is a shithole. Because, well, the leadership of Maryland's a shithole. And Iranian-backed Hezbollah forces opened fire on Lebanese protesters in Beirut. I think it's time we open up everything and get it back to where it needs to be. And then sleazy Democratic rep Eric Swallowswell, because I'm sure he does, attacks Republican senators, accuses them of working for Russia. Yeah, I got news for you, Eric Swallowswell. I got news for you. It's called slander, and it's called libel, and you are not, you do not have implied immunity. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. And then this one over here, and this is why 230 needs to be reformed. When you lock out, when Twitter locks out emergency room doctor Simone Gold for posting non-approved beer cold information on their platform. I'm sorry, I thought we were all learning about this together. So how can you say it's non-approved? You know, I think Jack Dorsey's doing this because he thinks he's going to be able to get Trump to stop what's coming. Jack Dorsey is part of that pedophile elite. So is Ellen DeGeneres, so is Oprah Winfrey, so is de Blasio, so is Cuomo. The AG of New York, Letitia James, was backed by, her campaign was funded by George Soros, who openly said child sex trafficking should be allowed worldwide. And that should tell you where they lie. I mean, and now there's a civil rights investigation against Kim Gardner and Kim Foxx, two radical left. One's a circuit court prosecutor and one's the district attorney in Chicago. These folks are all in bed with these evil child trafficking, drug trafficking, gun trafficking pieces of garbage. And then this one here is from yesterday. Corrupt beer cold ending harvesting distorts improving reality in the state of Florida. So all the numbers are being manipulated. So, you know, you can sit here and lie all you want to yourselves. You can wear your masks if you want. I'm not gonna fall into that. I will go to a drive-through before I go into any place, and unfortunately, I'm seeing huge gym locations just out of business. That's crazy. So there we go. We'll do one more for you. The New York Post today. Apparently, you know, Simon Cowell's surgery is more important than what's going on in our own country. So the next story is spate of shootings rock NYC early Sunday. Go figure. That's what happens when you demoralize your police, you stupid bastards. And then for some reason, New Zealand researchers remarkable milestone in coronavirus battle. Yeah, I bet it has something to do with HCQ. And then cop fired for misuse of murdered sexploitation victim's photo. What? And then Donald Trump Jr. makes surprising revelation about relationship with Kimberly Guilfoyle. I mean, this is what's important, right? This is the news that's important. Pelosi slamming the president's emergency coronavirus executive orders. Well, you dumb bitch, you couldn't do it because you play politics with my livelihood. And I hope the worst for your family. I really do. I hope your kids and your grandkids suffer while you're still alive eating your $20 ice cream. And then the prime suspect in Madeleine McCann case will never be tried, lawyer claims. Madeleine McCann is a little girl from England who was last seen with the Podesta brothers somewhere in Greece. And I believe they have dual citizenship because they are Greek. Gunfire erupts at D.C. D.C. party, killing 1 and injuring at least 9. Oh, wow. It's not front page news. Massive flood. Mass holes flood state's virus hotline with profanity, fake reports, and porn. Ah, yeah, they're standing up. Who said Massachusetts was a bunch of assholes? Oh, wait, they are. But it's fine, because at least they're doing what they did to New York. And then needed some bare necessities. Bear swipes picnic bag from truck. I saw that video. It was pretty cool. He opened the door. They're getting smart. Fucking real life Yogi the Bear. Then Portland police declare riot after protesters set union building ablaze. It's funny. And then beer cold cases uncovered at school with virtual reopening, with a viral reopening photo. Okay. White House expands mandatory beer cold testing among staffers. And Georgia family says cops shot at their car full of unarmed children. Report says, I don't buy it. I want to see the video footage. New York is looking for a pervy passenger who exposed himself on subway. Well, you know, you keep releasing sex offenders, Mr. de Blasio. By the way, you got the words duh and blah in your name, okay? De Blasio. This guy's a fucking burnout retard. I can't imagine. Can't imagine. You wonder why your kids are screwed up? It's because your seed was rotted. That's what happens to your kids when you have a rotted seed. They grow up missing parts, you know, like your daughter's brain is definitely fried. That's right, de Blasio. You're garbage, and so are your kids. And so is your wife. She's a thief, too. Anyway, that's the great news for Sunday, the 9th of August, 2020. We'll see if that extension works. Hopefully it does. I think if they sue Trump over that executive order, it's going to really show. It's going to really show the Dems' true hand. And when they do, they might as well just step down. End of story. By the way, all these leftist mayors and prosecutors and district attorneys, you're a disgrace to humanity. Forget the United States, to humanity. What you stand for is unacceptable, irresponsible, and disgusting. And we hope that we all get to see you be tried for your crimes against not only this country, but against the world. God bless and enjoy. If you're with your families today, enjoy that. And if you're just out enjoying the weather, you know, God bless.